For the most part, I despise the romantic comedy genre. Every time I am forced to watch one of these abominations, I often find my intelligence being undermined by a filmmaker, nay, an entire industry, that thinks me a dribbling moron that will consume anything they set before me. This genre is rife with stories of beautiful people scorned, drunken confessions, and several scenes of the main characters dancing around their coffee table while sipping margaritas. There's a scene where the main character binges on ice cream or alcohol and comes to the realization that what they've been searching for has been right in front of them all along. That said, you can imagine my surprise when I realized before preparing for this review that a film I've adored for decades fits into the genre I hate with the fire of 1,000 suns. This film is Better Off Dead, 1985, directed by Savage Steve Holland. This review is one by request from Zix the Pest. Better Off Dead is the story of Lane Meyer, played by John Cusack, a high school student obsessed with his girlfriend Beth who breaks up with him for the captain of the ski team, an arrogant 80s douchebag by the name of Roy Stalin, who coincidentally reminds me a little of American Psycho's Patrick Bateman. Lane soon becomes overtaken with depression and self-doubt to such a degree that he contemplates suicide. Within the first 20 minutes of the film, we are introduced to the odd characters that populate Lane's world. His best friend Charles snorts everyday items because, quote, he can't even get real drugs in this town. His family is comprised of his odd but well-meaning mother, his put-upon father, and his diabolically brilliant brother. Across the street live Lane's neighbors, creepy nerd Ricky Smith and his overbearing mother. The Smiths are playing host to a French foreign exchange student named Monique. Not that one. Yeah, that one makes more sense. Throughout the film, we witness Lane's laundry list of failures finally culminating in his befriending Monique, who manages to help him get his confidence back, by first helping to fix his derelict Camaro, and convincing him to race Roy down the difficult K-12 ski mountain. The scenes with Monique play a little like she's an attractive young Mr. Miyagi. She guides Lane through his troubles and actually gives him advice he can rely on. And as corny as it is, you actually root for these two to end up together, especially after no less than 2 80s montages. One romantic and the other a training montage. Director Savage Steve Holland has crafted a film that seems to be made of several smaller films. Better Off Dead is compiled with jokes, bits, and vignettes layered on top of one another, and while this may seem like it would make the film scattershot, somehow it works. These pieces serve to embed us in Lane's world, which is one part teenage fantasy and one part existential hellscape. Using a breakup as the catalyst, something rooted in common human experience, we find ourselves willing to buy the concepts of a drag race with 2 Asian brothers, one of whom narrates as Howard Cosell, a younger sibling with a taste for rocket science and slutty older women, and animated sequences that serve to underscore love and loss. This film often gets lumped in with the John Hughes of yore, and while Better Off Dead certainly shares themes with films like 16 Candles, this film spins these themes into absurdity. Better Off Dead, like Weird Science, in a way, is an absurdist work designed to exemplify how a teenage boy sees the world. Touching on everything from broken down vehicles to working shitty fast food jobs, this film gives us a wonderful representation of the common teen experience. And having been a teenage boy who has gone through breakups, and now being a fully grown, fully functioning man-child, I find this film incredibly accurate in its imaginative sequences of triumph and failure. And because of this viewpoint, we get a relatively fresh take on the teen experience. We also get a fresh take on the romantic comedy. Now, I want to take a few moments to talk about the DVD. The DVD releases of this film are totally bare bones, which is a shame given Better Off Dead's interesting backstory. Apparently, John Cusack despised this film and thought it made him look like a fool, asking director Savage Steve Holland never to speak to him again. The film's director based this movie on real events. He apparently did get jilted by his high school girlfriend for the captain of the ski team. And he also tried at least one unsuccessful suicide, described by the filmmaker as almost exactly the same as the scene where Lane contemplates hanging himself. I hope that someday we can get a version with, at the very least, filmmaker commentary. For more information about the film, please visit my site at www.cigaretteburnpictures.com for links to interviews as well as some neat alternative poster art. I can't say that this film is a masterpiece, but it is a wonderful cult gem that I highly recommend. Better Off Dead has a brilliant cast that features Kim Darby, David Ogden Stiers, Amanda Weiss, and Curtis Armstrong. It is a film that takes the subject of teenage love and suicide and puts such a hilarious and absurd spin on it that you can't help but laugh. I can't think of another film that has a homicidal paperboy. And while, as previously mentioned, I can't really fit this movie in with the overall John Hughes canon, I can lay it alongside other cult classics like 3 O'Clock High, Revenge of the Nerds, and Adventures in Babysitting. It's a fun, entertaining piece of work with a viewpoint that brings a fresh take to an overdone genre.